Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Laura Jane. I'm the co-creator of Inversion Addict Academy, our online inversion training platform where you can go and learn with me from your very first headstand all the way through to pressing in handstands. Inversion Addict Academy is entirely dedicated to learning inversions. It's not diluted with anything else, so you can go and start to master your inversion practice with my help from the comfort of your own home for only $12.95. The link is in the description below. But for now, in this YouTube video, I'm going to give you a quick checklist that you can start to go over in your inversion practice, whether it's headstands, forearm stands, or handstands. These are skills that you want to be working on and make sure that you can achieve. And again, if you need help with any of this is all stuff that we cover at Inversion Addict Academy. Okay, so like I said, you can practice this checklist in headstands, forearm stands, or handstands. And really, I suggest you practicing it in all three inversions just to see where you are at. So the first thing on that checklist is your 4 foundation shapes, making sure that you can hold your tuck, straddle, pike, and line. I'll show you what that looks like. I'll show you in handstand, but it's the same thing for headstands, forearm stands, and handstands. So hopping into my tuck. So making sure that you can hold your tuck, your pike, your straddle, and I'm a bit close to the wall there, and your line. Those are the 4 most important shapes for any inversion practice. So you want to be practicing those in your headstands, forearm stands, and handstands. So the next thing on the list is your line endurance hold. So yes, we just did the 4 foundation shapes, but now I'm just talking about holding your straight line, which is a hollow body hold, holding that while you're upside down for as long as you can with proper technique while remembering to breathe and timing that and seeing how long that line is. So I'll show you what that looks like as well. And we'll see how long of a line I can hold right now. I am a little bit out of practice, so go easy on me. So focusing on my core, squeezing my butt, pointing my toes, pushing up through my shoulders, breathing. I'm gonna leave it there for now because I have more to do. But the point is you're supposed to go until you feel yourself fatigue, until you feel your form seriously change. Try to correct it if you can, but if you cannot, don't hang out in bad form. If you feel your form break, come back down to the ground. So even then, I felt my shoulders starting to shrug a little bit. I'm here teaching. It's like, okay, I'm gonna come back down to the ground. So for you, when you go to enter that handstand or headstand line, just hit the timer on your phone and know that it's probably going to take you about 5 seconds to get into that line. So then you can subtract that from your total length to get that line hold and record that down as number 2 for your inversion checklist. Okay, number 3 is toe taps. So toe taps, again, we can practice them in headstands, forearm stands, and handstands. I'll show you this one in headstands. So walking my hips up, coming wide into a straddle. With toe taps, the goal is to keep this nice flat straddle. So remember, with our straddle, we're always sitting on the invisible chair above us, right? You're never open like a V like this, like a cartwheel. You're always closing your hips and sitting on the flat ground above you. And then when you're ready with the toe taps, you're keeping your legs extended and bringing one foot down towards your elbow. And down to the ground, touching the ground, repeating on the other side. And again, this can be practiced in handstand as well. It's just much more challenging and you'll get far fewer reps. So I could do this for a while in headstand, but with handstand, I can only get maybe 3 on either side for now. So obviously with those toe taps, they're gonna get more and more challenging. And with all of these skills, they're gonna get more and more challenging, the more challenging of an inversion you are practicing. So in headstands, they're gonna be most successful. Forearm stands are going to be a little bit more challenging, and then handstands are going to feel really hard, and that's just the progression of inversions. Okay, the next skill is your press. So toe taps are kind of like a baby press. They're almost like a puppy press. They're building strength up to that. And then your press it's what it sounds like. It is pressing up off of the ground. Now, if you are not able to get your press yet in headstands, it means you're obviously not going to be doing it yet in forearm stands or handstands. And the best thing that you should be doing is working on press negatives, which is entering your headstand line and then slowly lowering your feet down to the ground, firing up your core as much as you can to slow your legs down as they're coming down to the ground and build strength for that full press. But once you're able to do the full press, then you want to work on then eventually carrying that over to forearm stands and handstands. So I'll show you my press in forearm stands, walking my hips up, leaning forwards a bit, bringing my feet wide, up, 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 pressing into my straight line. Coming back down the same path. And that lowering back down of the same path, that's basically the negative. So I'll show you that in headstand as well. And in headstands, you can really, once you unlock your press, start to make it a solid core workout where you can do all sorts of drills, right? You can practice switching legs, toe tapping in that way, practice your your press variations. So you have a pike press, you have a straddle press, where your feet come wide and up. And the press is just a really important milestone for any inversion practice. It's when you stop just kicking off and having to find your strength and stability with all of that movement to suddenly leaving the ground with control. So the last thing on the inversion skills checklist is practicing an inversion with your eyes closed. The thing with practicing with your eyes closed is it makes it more difficult. You're taking away your line of sight, you're taking away that stable point that you're normally looking at, and instead you're going inwards and you're focusing on your body, trying not to psych yourself out. So the biggest thing with practicing your inversions with your eyes closed is to start, do not use a blindfold. You don't need a blindfold, and ultimately you want to be able to open your eyes if you need to see. So the blindfold is not necessary. You'll just practice by closing your eyelids. The second thing when practicing inversions with your eyes closed is to make sure you're not doing something too far out of your comfort zone. So say you're just starting to get your handstands, don't start practicing them with your eyes closed yet. Go maybe back to your headstand practice and try practicing a headstand tuck with your eyes closed, see how that feels, and work on advancing to a more challenging inversion. As well as the wall is your best friend. You can practice a headstand or a handstand against the wall, close your eyes, and know that you're going to be safe. But with time, what's great is to be able to be in the middle of the room and practice an inversion with your eyes closed and have such good control over your body and mind that you can stay in that inversion even though it's really challenging. So I can show you what that looks like, though it is pretty self-explanatory. I'll show you in a handstand. Actually, I'll show you in a headstand. The only way for you to see it in a handstand is if I do a drop gaze. So I'm in my tuck now. Get into a stable shape first, then close your eyes. You can set a timer if you'd like before this. And when you close your eyes in inversion, I just want you to focus on form, breathing, being proud of yourself because this is cool. It's a whole different experience. And that's it for today's YouTube video for this inversion skills checklist. You can practice these in headstands, forearm stands, and handstands. So the skill list is your foundation shapes, holding an endurance line hold in any inversion, being able to practice your toe taps, again, starting in headstands, working your way up to handstands, and then being able to hold a. So that skills checklist is being able to hold your foundation shapes, working on your endurance line hold in headstands, forearm stands, and handstands, working on your ability to practice toe taps. You can start in headstands, work up to handstands. Don't be upset with yourself if you can't do as many in handstands. It's hard. Being able to practice your press, your full press. And remember that if you can't get your press, to work on press negatives, slowly lowering down in the reverse. Once you get that, work on it in headstands, eventually forearm stands, and then one day handstands. But that takes a long time. And remember, I'm there to help you at Inversion Addict Academy with getting there. And then last but not least, as a little bonus, but definitely an added challenge for your inversion practice and a fun one to add into a skills checklist, and that is working on being able to balance upside down with your eyes closed. So remembering to start in a pose that you already have very solid, that you can use the wall to give yourself added support, and to never use a blindfold so that you can always just open your eyes if needed. Those are these skills that I think that you should work on in your headstands, forearm stands, and handstands to help build a super strong foundation for not just your inversion practice, but also a super strong core for your body. These shapes are everything. And if you can hold them, it means that you are mobile, strong, and that you've worked your ass off to get there. So again, I am here to help you at Inversion Addict Academy. The link is in the description below. If you liked this YouTube video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you next week where we will keep working on inversions and talking about life. I'll see you there.